Hello, it's Einar from Unity Center again. It's been summertime and it's been quiet, so this is the first interview in a few months. And we have Unmani here today from, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say from London, but she doesn't have a home anymore. She's traveling the world. And I caught up in her website and thought she was super interesting. And I said to her that you have the total solution, but she's not. It doesn't agree about that, I think. But she has ideas that I haven't seen too much before, so I think it's very interesting. We are a self-development center, and lots of people are struggling, looking for solutions, looking for solution for their problems, and meditating, doing lots of spiritual work. And you mean that's going too far?
No, well, as I said to you earlier, that what I'm pointing to doesn't exclude anything. So, because when you're trying to develop yourself and improve and fix yourself, one thing that many people find out after some years of doing that is that it's endless. You know?
Yes.
And as much as it can be very rewarding, and you can see great improvements in yourself, and after doing various courses and opening up, and at the same time, you can also see that it's a kind of a self-obsession. And it's totally self-focused on this idea of me as someone that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And what I'm pointing to, well, what I'm questioning, let's say, is who is this me that needs to be fixed?
Yeah.
And when we question that, it kind of gets to the root of the whole thing. Because when we're trying to improve ourselves all the time, we're just assuming that there is someone to improve.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, isn't it?
That there is someone who needs to be fixed, who's got a problem, who, that there's something wrong with. But when we question, well, who is that has any problem? Well, actually, when we look through our thoughts and we say, well, okay, actually in our thoughts we're just making that assumption. And then we look, well, what is this me if it's not just a thought? Then we come to, well, this body. Am I this body? But as many people have discovered in their self-exploration, they're not limited to their body. So then if I'm not my thought me, if I'm not my story me, or my story of my life, and if I'm not my body, well then who am I? And then it really opens it out to the unlimited. And what I'm exploring with people is guiding them, encouraging them to explore this for themselves and know this for themselves, that who they are actually is not limited to what they think or what they feel physically. Their true nature, their true identity isn't the one that needs to be fixed. Although we can go on working on this person, this seeming person that seems to kind of go on living in this world, this body, this way of thinking, but it's endless.
Are you talking about the higher self, or even higher than that?
Well, people have many different words for this.
Yes.
Higher self, consciousness, awareness, life itself. That's what I might call it. But it doesn't really matter what we call it. It's our true innocence. It's our self that we were as a baby, and we still are. We haven't changed. We haven't actually grown up, even though it seems like our bodies have. It seems like we've been through many experiences. But actually we all have a sense of that timelessness that we really are, that hasn't changed, that isn't our age, And that's really what I'm pointing to.
But it's a little bit diffuse what you're pointing at. What do you mean about if you have traumas and things, you have to do self-development to go into the traumas and work with that?
Yeah, well, as I said, nothing's excluded. So, but if you know that you are not limited to what you think about yourself or what is going on physically, then you know that you're not limited to your trauma. So you can see yourself as this unlimited one that you are. And paradoxically also, you play this person with a body who does feel and experience the trauma.
Yes.
So it's the paradox of both. And this is something that mentally we just can't really understand. It doesn't make sense. How can we be totally unlimited and totally
still have
limited?
a trauma?
Yeah. But this is the play of life. This is the yin-yang, this is the play of being absolutely impersonal and absolutely personal.
And what is your real message then? Is it to just know that you have this big, you're not only the body, but you also have this...
it actually gives so much freedom to know that.
But I think most of the people in the alternative world knows this.
But you can know it intellectually, and
yes.
that's kind of interesting, and you can agree with it.
Yeah.
But to really know it...
How do you do that?
In your own knowing, well, that's what I'm investigating with people and encouraging people to explore in themselves, so that they can know it for themselves. And not just agree with it, or think it, or believe in it. I'm not suggesting we hold on to some new belief system, that we are one or something like that. Yeah. But I'm encouraging people to know it for themselves.
To help them get the experience.
Yeah, to really know it. To know
that's something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have to have a person in person, or you can do it in groups?
Well, what I do with people is I hold open meetings, which are what I'm doing tonight. It's an open meeting for anybody, and in that anyone can come, and then I invite people. I usually give a talk a little bit to introduce the whole thing, but then I invite people to come up and have a dialogue with me. And those dialogues are very intimate, and anything can come up in those dialogues. Any kind of personal stuff, or any spiritual concepts that people want to inquire into. People will sometimes talk about their deepest longing, the longing to wake up, to be free, to know themselves. And we explore together, and in those dialogues there's the words that go along the surface in a way, when we investigate the beliefs about themselves, concepts that they've held on to their whole lives, assumptions that they've just assumed to be true, just because other people have said that, and they've just kind of automatically believed them. But then underneath that there's a kind of an energetic dance that goes on, which I can't understand, I can't explain, but somehow there's an opening that seems to happen. So in a way the mind is kind of satisfied by looking at these concepts and undermining these beliefs, and then underneath that there's a kind of holding energetically that goes on, that holds all of it, that makes it feel actually safe to let go of these concepts and beliefs. And what happens for people is very, very beautiful, actually. They see in their own direct experience this innocence or this freedom that they have always known themselves to be, but perhaps have been looking out there for it, in someone else, or in some other experience, or hoping that one day they'll get it, but actually in experiencing it and knowing it for themselves, there's a great relaxation and kind of an aha moment.
But how do you get there? Is it you have to be in touch with your senses or something to experience this field of nothingness, or what is this? Buddhism?
Well, it's not related to any religion or any belief system, and yet it can be found in every religion and every belief system, and in everyone. You can open practically every novel and you'll find some words relating to what I'm pointing to. Any TV program or anything, somehow, because everyone knows this, and it's because it's who we are. It's just that we overlook it and we don't acknowledge it. We're so focused on who we think we are.
Yeah, is that especially in the Western world?
I would say so.
Yeah,
yes.
we have to have proof for everything.
Yes.
We have to have concepts and and maybe brainwashed to have these concepts, I think.
Yeah. And we're trying to get somewhere. You know, we have some future goal that we're aiming for, and that's much more important than what's actually going on right now. Because often what's actually going on right now is uncomfortable and a bit boring according to our thoughts, or not enough somehow, not satisfying enough. We have to keep trying to fix ourselves and improve ourselves and get to some elusive final goal, which is going to be perfect, you know, in our dreams.
Yes.
And what I'm doing with people is kind of undermining all those dreams and all those hopes, which in a way, for the thinking, can seem a bit depressing, you know. What, if I let go of my hopes and dreams, then what will I have? But actually, if I let go of my hopes and dreams, I'm left with right here and right now. Nothing. And that's actually who I am.
Yes. And that's when, in this alternative field, you also talk about just be in the now and just do what you feel like doing. And it's your higher self or the universe is directing you to what to do.
Yeah.
Is that a goal?
Yes,
to be in the now and do what you feel.
Although that gets hijacked by the thinking.
Okay.
You know, and turned into another concept or belief system.
Okay.
I'm someone who needs to be in the now.
Yeah.
I need to hold on to the now. That now will be my goal. In other words, it's a now that's apparently in the future.
Yes.
You know, when I'm living in the now, or let's say there's a spontaneous happening. You know, happening now, the thinking comes in afterwards and says, oh, I'm in the now.
Yeah.
You know? And makes it some story, you know, about me. Look at me, I'm so special, I'm in the now.
Yes.
I'm so spiritual. You know?
But when I hear you talk, it's belief systems are very important. If you believe something really much, it gets a bit of you. You are this belief, one of 1,000 beliefs. But you're talking about really going into and getting the belief that I'm something else. I am the whole universe. I'm one with everybody. If you get that in really belief, you believe in that. You don't have to think of it anymore.
Well, it's actually going beyond belief. See, when you let go of all the beliefs, even the most spiritual beliefs, then you have nothing to hold on to anymore. You know? Your beliefs about yourself, about what this life is, what it's all about, what's going on, what is time, what is awareness, what, you know, all of these beliefs. When we let go of all these beliefs, we're actually left with our own direct experience.
But that's also a belief. You have to believe it to experience it.
You don't actually have to believe anything. You know, like let's say, okay, right now, as we sit here together. Are you believing in something right now?
No, right now I'm believing that just like Jesus says, if you believe you can walk on water, you can do it.
Okay, so let's say let go of that belief right now, or let's say just don't focus on that belief right now. And then we're just sitting here looking at each other, and you're feeling whatever you're feeling in your body, and you're just seeing this, looking. No belief is necessary right now.
No.
Just to sit here and experience what is happening.
Yes.
It's very simple.
Okay, that's what they talk about.
Yeah, it's so simple, and it's just that the thinking comes in saying, well, yeah, but so what? Yeah. Like, well, what's so special about this?
Yeah.
You know? But
what's special about walking on water?
Yeah, that's much more special. Yeah, I want that. You know? I don't want just simple, like, sitting here, nothing happening.
But then we don't have anything to talk about. If
right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, then we have nothing to fix and nothing to work on and nowhere to go.
What to do then?
Yeah, what to do then? Well, you see, then it's just about living, you know, just being alive.
That's the concept now.
Yeah, and well, it's not even a concept. I mean, you know, of course, every word can be, everything I say can be turned into another concept, and it does. You know, people do grasp hold of every word and turn it into some new belief system. But if we can keep throwing it out, as soon as it gets grasped, keep throwing it out and throwing it out, you know. Imagine a rubbish bin here, and you just keep throwing all the concepts in.
Yes.
You know. And then in the meantime, as you're throwing these concepts in, it's just very simple, you know. Nothing to do, nowhere to go.
But still you have to fake it to believe it then.
Fake it? What do you need to fake?
Yeah, if this concept, us ordinary people, we have all these concepts, and to do what you're talking about, to just let it go, you have to have a thought system that says, when I think of something, oh, I have to do that and that. Okay, something in you has to say, okay, I have to let it go. You have to have something that helps you to get there.
When we were sitting here a moment ago, did you need something to help you to get there? Or right now, let's
Well,
say?
if you told me the concept of, okay, don't think about Jesus walking on the water. Don't think about it. It's not a big deal. But you have to still have it in your mind, and that's not a big deal.
Well, all I'm saying is that you don't need to hold on to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call that a
That's
concept,
a concept.
okay.
Yes.
If you want to call that a concept.
Yeah, but it's just that's why I mean
Yeah.
you have to fake it to believe it. So if you have
All
to.
right. Yeah, if you want to call it that, it's really,
Okay.
you know, it's the thing is, it's really just leaving you with nothing,
Yeah.
and that for the thinking, it's quite unbearable.
Yes.
It can be frightening. It can feel kind of agitating and frustrating and nerve-wracking.
Mm.
You know. Thinking wants to fill the gap with something.
Yes.
You know. Give me something. What is it?
Yeah, that's what we're trained to.
Yeah.
Of course, and but I'm trying to break this down so everybody
Yeah, I
can
know,
understand it.
Yeah, the thing is, it can't be understood. That's the thing. It's not something that is food for the thinking.
No.
You know, and the thinking wants food. You know,
Yes.
give me something to grasp, to turn it into some philosophy or some belief system. And that's why it's quite frustrating listening to this. You know, some people hate it. You know, they walk out because it just terrifies them so much, because it leaves you with nothing.
Yeah.
But some people really resonate with it when they've been searching in all this complication for so long, you know, and they're just searching for someone to just say it like it is, you know. It just is simple. We've always known this since we were babies, you know.
Yeah,
How simple it is.
You have to go back to the
Yeah.
children's stage.
Well, it's not even that we need to go back. We haven't left this. It's just
Yeah, that's true.
We're children pretending to be grown-up adults. You know, we're only pretending to have this interview. You know?
Yes.
We're pretending that you're this adult man, and
Old man?
Adult man. I said adult
Oh, okay.
man. Adult man. Just old man. Adult.
Okay.
Adult man, and I'm this adult woman. I'm talking about this, and I'm sitting in this
Yes.
armchair, and I'm looking all very serious.
Yes.
And, but actually, we're just two little kids.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
I hope so.
we're just pretending. Like when I was a child, me and my sister, we used to play. We used to dress up in my parents' clothes and play all kinds of games. And this is what we're doing now. It's just that we've started to really believe the game and take it seriously. And so all I'm saying is that, hey, we're just little kids again. Don't forget.
Remember that.
Remember that. Wake
Yes.
up to that.
Yes.
Wake up out of the dream.
Yes.
That's what I'm pointing. I'm pointing to awakening.
Yes.
Many people know that concept.
Yeah, what do we mean about awakening? Everybody think that's a guru thing. Buddha was awakened. And what is awakened?
Well, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, I tend not to use that word so much, but if we have to put a label to it, it's waking up out of the dream of who you think you are.
Yes, that was a good.
The
That was a good.
The dream of being an adult.
Yeah.
A serious, responsible adult. Who has to fit into all these ideas and should be like this and should be like that. But knowing who you really are, it's not an escape from anything, actually. You have to go on living and experiencing and feeling whatever traumas or whatever issues and dramas and emotions that come up. You have to go on living. But knowing that you're not limited to what you think about yourself means that you see all the stuff that goes on for this human.
Okay, so you're talking about going a little bit outside and looking at yourself, how you're pretending.
Well, it's not that you go out; it's that you are already out in a way. You always have been. I'm not talking about taking some kind of distant position where you step out, because that would be an escape. You still feel it all. I feel everything. There's no escape from feeling stuff in life, really. But feeling it all, and simultaneously knowing that I'm not limited to what I think about any of it, is freedom already.
How did you get? You have gone a long way to find out these things. Have you been traveling the world for many years? You're going. I know you've been many years in India. You have been listening to Osho, and then you find another lady that was giving you one of the solutions. And what have you? Did you have a normal work before you started all this?
Well, I started young. I mean, I kind of started this when I was a child in a way, because as I was saying, I knew that this knowing, this innocence that I am, is really who I am. But then all the serious adults around me didn't reconfirm that. So I thought, well, there must be something wrong with me. So I went searching to find an identity, to be someone, because I didn't find anyone in here, you know. And I thought, well, everybody else is being someone. Probably there's something wrong with me. And on my search, in all these different countries and with different teachers and different practices and methods and working on myself and all of that, basically I discovered that who I really am is, you know, I didn't need to find it outside of me, that I have never left it. And then it was more and more about falling in love with this human person, because I always felt that there was something wrong with her. She needed to be fixed, you know. I was into self-development and trying to fix her endlessly. And I actually found that in doing that, I was constantly reconfirming that she had some problem, that there was something wrong with her. So now, since this acknowledgement of who I really am, life itself, it's been about actually confirming that this person, this human woman, is absolutely perfect, just the way she is, with all her weird and wonderful stuff that goes on. She's not perfect according to any ideas, you know. She's perfectly imperfect, and in that,
it's allowed to be.
It's allowed to be just as she is, you know. And that doesn't mean that there's no more growing and learning and opening. It's endlessly opening, endlessly being touched by life, you know. By this now, you know, just totally touched and feeling it all. And it's heartbreakingly beautiful at times and heartbreakingly painful at other times, you know. But this is what it is to be alive.
Yes.
The endless journey, and simultaneously always knowing that I am that is aware of it all. I am seeing it all going on. Totally untouched and totally touched.
Good way to say it. You have written a few books.
2 books, and I'm writing a
Do you want to tell a little bit about the 2 books?
Okay. Well, the first one is I Am Life Itself, that I wrote probably about 8 years ago, something like that now. And it's got a little bit of the story of what happened for me. And it's quite a short book, kind of simple writing. It was kind of for me it was quite a rebellious book. I just wanted to say it like it is, you know. After all these years of denying it for myself, I was like, right, this is just how it is. Then the other book is Die to Love, which I wrote probably about...
Die to Love?
Die to Love, yeah. Which I probably wrote about, I don't know, 4 years ago, something like that. I lose track of the numbers, and that's an exploration about love, the love that I am, that everyone is,
yes.
And also about intimate relationships and how that fits in with all of this. And it was an exploration after a heartbreak that I had after the end of a relationship. It's kind of propelled me into wanting to really explore this for myself, and through writing I did that.
Okay,
and now I'm writing a 3rd book, more about kind of coming alive and being touched by everything.
When is that coming out?
Not sure. I have to finish it first.
But anyhow, you can, if you follow your website,
Yeah.
I'll write it on the video around here. And what is the name of the website?
Also, Die to Love.
Die to Love.
DieToLove.com.
Okay. We usually end the interviews with you want to say a message to the world. What do you want to tell the world? What's your main mission in life now? You really already told me, so it's.
Yeah, I don't really have a main mission. I mean, just being alive and being touched by life, and encourage everyone to be completely touched by whatever appears, whatever wants to be experienced in this life, to be totally touched by
Yes.
it and to feel it all. Yeah, and if there's a deep longing to wake up out of this dream of thought, then follow that longing and go for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Follow it with everything. Don't stop.
Everything you got.
Everything you've got. Yeah.
Yes.
Jump into it completely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was very good news.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.